Hi there guys, welcome back to another episode of the Kanto Solo Runs on the Retro Brown channel. As you can see wiggling in front of you, we have Poliwag for today's video. And it's going to be an interesting one because we haven't actually done any of the Poliwag line yet. And it's first stage evolution as well. And just looking at those base stats, you wouldn't have thought that this is actually a good Pokemon. But I'm going to show you here why that would be a wrong assumption. Yes, it's only got 300 base stat total, highest being in speed at 90, which as we know is always a fantastic attribute to have great stats in for a solo run. You can outspeed, you can do fantastic progress throughout the whole entire run. But what makes the Poliwag even better is actually the movesets that it gets. Yes, it does look a little bit shallow, but as we've seen on so many of our runs so far, water-type Pokemon perform extremely well in Generation 1. Just about as well as Psychic types perform, really. We only start off with one move, and that is Bubble. And it's 20 base power move, 100% accuracy. Not the greatest, really, in hindsight. And we probably will struggle against the original rival here. I'm going to go with... what should we call it this week? Should we call it... actually, no, I know. I'm going to call it Poliwag, because I am that confident that we are going to have a good run here. So now we've got Poliwag. We're going to go against the Bulbasaur, because it's going to be the hardest matchup for it. And you can see Bubble is doing next to nothing. But thankfully, this is not a battle that we have to win. The initial rival fight is not a battle that you have to win. So even if we lose this, it's not the worst thing. It would be fantastic if we got the experience from this. But with Brock being the first gym leader and we've got a super effective move against him, we might not even need the levels. It's going to be more of a chew to get through Viridian Forest than it is going to get past Brock, really. And to be fair, we actually get quite close. We're down to 3 HP. Growl is a useless move against us, but Tackle does unfortunately take us out. But we did a lot more damage than I thought we would. Once we've moved through to Pewter, though, we can go against Brock, and we've done this at minimum battles. Because we're a water-type Pokemon. Well, actually, no, we haven't done this in minimum battles. I must have gone against a few more trainers than I thought I was, but... Level 12, we're against Brock here, and it is such an easy battle. Just using Bubble, we can take out the Onix in 2. Level 13, we're only 3 levels away from Hypnosis, which will be one of our key moves for the run. For the majority of the run anyway. And we also pick up Bide. Now Bide will be a good move just to add on in the short term, especially when we go against these trainers just to the east of Viridian. Not Viridian, Pewter. I'm getting the towns mixed up now. Considering Bubble is not a very good move, what we actually want to use Bide to get past this Rattata when it stops using Tail Wag, and once we unleash energy, it's going to be a one-shot KO. But using Bubble, you have less chance of winning this battle, and you need Bubble for the seconds. It's easier to use Bubble on the seconds because, well, when it uses Wrap, yeah, it doesn't accumulate every single bit of Wrap damage, so we might have to level up a tiny bit just to get past this trainer, but level 15, we're still going with the Bide strats. Quick attack is still doing really good damage. I mean, our base defense is 40. It's not impressive whatsoever. And once we're through to the Ekans, even though we're on low HP, what we're hoping for is that the Ekans just uses Leer, and we can get enough bubbles in to take it out. Thankfully, in this circumstance, it actually did, and we managed to move through. And we go through to Cerulean. Now, I debated which of the two would be easier to go against first, and I opted to go for the trainer for the rival on Nugget Bridge, because Misty is not going to be an easy battle. We don't really have a move which can do good damage against her, unless we decide to rely on Bide, and that is not the greatest strategy, really. We have leveled up to level 20, so we have picked up Water Gun, and we have picked up Hypnosis. We could have picked up Water Gun in Mount Moon, but at the same time, we were going to learn it anyway soon. It made no point to make that little deviation. Water Gun is the best move we have, really. And it's only a 40 base power move, which ain't great. It's not great. And we've got a Bulbasaur coming up next, and we've got no move really that can take it out in one or even do much damage to it. Water Gun is perfect for the Rattata, but that Bulbasaur is going to be a problem. So if we put it to sleep, we could have a chance to actually beat it, but Hypnosis has only got 60% accuracy, which is awful. We get Leech Seeded, Violent Hits. We didn't even get 1 point damage in that Bulbasaur, so it's not great. If we can't beat that rival, then we're going to have to try against Misty. We could go against the trainers in a gym to get a bit of experience. And we're only at level 21 going into this fight. So if Hypnosis doesn't work, then we have to rely on Bide. And it's still not doing great damage. But with 16 HP, we've now got the Starmie to contend with. I don't think this is going to be possible. We need to outspeed it, which we're not at this level. And yeah, I think we can get probably kind of lucky. We can put the Staryu to sleep, we could take it down with Water Gun, and then we've got enough HP to use Bide on the Starmie. That possibly is a good strategy. We just got to hope that the 60% Hypnosis actually hits, which in this battle, it does quite a lot. We've got really, really lucky here. And now that Starmie is out, we can use Bide. It goes for 2 tackles, and it is more than enough to take down the Starmie. And that's 2 badges. But we still haven't beaten the rival on Nugget Bridge. But we do now get a fantastic move in Bubble Beam from beating Misty. And this is going to be key to beating the rival here. So we need that Hypnosis to hit, otherwise we're going to get hit by sand attacks. Bubble Beam's still not doing half damage on a Pidgeotto, but 3 is enough to take it down. Abra, it doesn't attack, so it's a free battle this one. And it's still 3 Bubble Beams to take it down. It is a special move after all, and Abra's got better special than defense. Rattata's got pretty bad special, so it's going to take 2 moves to take it down. And we've got 34 HP for this Bulbasaur. If we don't hit this Hypnosis, we would have lost. So now we can use Bubble Beam. It's still not doing great damage, but it's better than if we were using Water Gun. And it's going to be about 6 hit KO here. Not fantastic, but it's still better than that Bulbasaur being awake and hitting us. And thanks to Hypnosis playing ball, we can actually get through. And that just leaves the next challenges coming up. So the SSN is next. And I don't think the rival's going to be that much of a problem there too, to be fair. We can get a lot of levels up at Nugget Bridge, and we can get a lot of levels up in the SSN. So much so, we're at level 28 here. We've picked up Body Slam. And that's going to be a fantastic move moving forward. Just the fact we have a physical attacking move as well as our special move. Yeah, we've got a bit more variation. We can actually do some good damage on the likes of Kadabra and that it's an Ivysaur now thinking about it. But if we get hit by 1 Fine Whip, that's probably us gone. So we need to put it to sleep, and then 2 Body Slams will be more than enough to take it down. But the next gym leader you're thinking about is definitely one that I was worried about for this run. Considering we don't have great special, our speed is our best stat, Surge is going to be an issue. But I'm still confident we could possibly do it at the level we're at, level 29. We have Body Slam, and their Pokemon don't have great defenses. So if we can at least take out the Pikachu in 1 hit, which we do, we can then have a chance against that Raichu. And can we do it in 1 hit? If we Hypnosis is the best player there. It's going to take 3 hits with Body Slam. Although it would look like a damage range, so we'd manage to do it in 2. So, first time victory against Surge. The gym leader I was most worried about for this run because it is super effective against us. And we can move on to Rock Tunnel. Rock Tunnel is not a problem whatsoever. It's full of rock Pokemon, ground Pokemon, and the like. It's easy to get through with a Poliwag. The next challenge is Giovanni over in Celadon. And I did toss up going to Erica, the rival, or Giovanni first. And Giovanni was the easiest option. We needed a few more levels. I thought it made more sense to come here first. And we actually did have a pretty bad time against him. That Kangaskhan took us down with a crit and then a bite. So we had to try again. And I wasn't expecting us to lose here to him, but we actually did. We've picked up Ice Beam in Celadon as well, so we do have another move we can use. A bit more variation. That'll lead us good into Erica with the Ice-type move. Level 35, we're actually flying with levels now. I'm pretty sure that Poliwag has got a very good growth rate, but I will double check that and get back to you later on in the video about it. We managed to get the Kangaskhan to sleep, and we take it down with 2 Ice Beams, which is pretty good, but I'm still not too happy about how high level we are. I think we could have done this at a much lower level, but this is where we are right now, and we can move on to the next challenge. and I opted to go for Lavender Tower. After we beat Lavender Tower, the game opens up a lot more, so we could go to Saffron and do Silphcore. We could go down to Koga. We actually could go to Cinnabar as soon as we got Surf, so to be fair, there's a lot of options that we can go to, and down in Fuchsia we could go and get Surf, which is a very good water type move. It would replace Bubble Beam for us, and that might be the best option to play if we would then plan to go to Silphcore later on. We did actually pick up Psychic in Saffron as well, so we've got another coverage move perfect for this run, because Psychic types in this generation are ridiculously broken. And we could either go for Ice Beam or we go for Psychic here. I opted for Ice Beam because it has a 10% freeze chance, and we beat the rival pretty easily. So once Lavender Tower is completed, we're going to go off and we're going to go explore Erica's gym. You probably thought I was going to go down straight to Fuchsia and leave Erica till later. I have forgotten Erica before, but we have a lot of moves that can take her out. We are at a very good level, and we have picked up Amnesia at level 38. And that would be fantastic if we hadn't just been critted by a Razor Leaf. So Ice Beam is definitely the play to make. Victory Bell thankfully gets a Gen 1 miss. And we can move on to the Tangler and the Vileplume. Tangler is never a problem, so this is the better one to really set up the badge boost glitch on. I am trying to do more solo runs where I don't utilise the badge boost glitch, but when it's first stage evolutions, you kind of need that extra little support. So here in this run, I actually am going to use the badge boost glitch because Amnesia is a broken move. It increases that special exponentially. But it's the same deal as Swords Dance. You can only use it 3 times. Whereas if you had the move Growth, you could use that 6 times and get the 12.5 boost in each stat each time. But you only get it 3 times with using Amnesia or with using Swords Dance. But we can move on to Koga. We can go and get Surf after we've beaten him. And Poliwag is flying on this run. With moves like Psychic, Ice Beam and Surf coming up as well, we are well stacked to be able to take on the world with this Poliwag. Sludge does massive damage on us. Our defense is pretty bad, but the Coffin's not going to do too much to us. It's going to be a 1-hit with a crit, and that just leaves the Weezing. So if this goes for Explosion, we lose. But hopefully we get the super effective hit and we take it down. So that's 5 gym badges so far, and not many resets at all. Really not many resets at all, which is very, very promising. And I could have gone over to Saffron to go and beat Sabrina, but I opted to go for the easier route, pick up Surf, and then we'll go beat Blaine, track our way back. Yes, we probably will lose a bit of time doing it this way, but Blaine had a lot of fire type Pokemon in his gym, and we could do a lot of quick training there compared to going anywhere else. So it made more sense for me to go and train up in his gym where we had the type advantage. We could save a bit of time, and then we can go back to Saffron and beat Sabrina. Now, I alluded earlier that Poliwag's got a very good growth rate. It is in the medium slow growth rate, which actually I don't think is the best, really. I need to double check the growth rate experiences, and I'll get back to you in the next video of which one's actually the best, because there is a chart which shows this. And now we've beaten Blaine, we can actually move on to Saffron. We need to finish off this part of the story. We're level 45 at this point. We are well above all of their Pokemon levels. And this is going to be quite an easy-ish battle, really. You would have thought Gyarados is probably not the best Pokemon to set up on, but there's only going to be one other move that he uses apart from Bite or Leer, and that is Dragon Rage, which is the worst possible scenario. But once we've set up 2 of our Amnesias, we can set another one up against a Growlithe, which probably would have been the better one to set up on, thinking about it. We've now got better speed, we've got better special, and we can take down most of his Pokemon unless we get a critical hit, which is annoying. Critical hits in Gen 1 are based around your speed. The higher your speed, the better chance you have of making a critical hit. Now, if you're badge boosting, this is a bad thing, really. If you're badge boosting, you want to make sure that you're not critting, because the crit only takes into account the original damage that you have, not the badge boost that has been put on top of it. So a normal attack badge boosted would do more than a critical hit. So it works, it's peak and troughs of what works and what doesn't. Moving on to Giovanni, it's the last gym leader we've got to do here. We've got a powerful move against every single one of his Pokemon. If it's not going to be Psychic, it's going to be Bubble Beam, Bubble Beam Surf. We've got Surf now, or it would be Ice Beam. I blacked out a bit for a little bit there. And there's not really much that his team can do here. And we're going to go and beat him straight away again in a minute, because he is the last gym leader. If after however many 25 years you have not realised that Giovanni was the 8th gym leader, where have you been? You've been living under a rock. So at level 47 we've managed to beat everybody apart from Sabrina. She shouldn't be too much of a problem in hindsight. If we can get a Surf in quite early, we should do alright, but I want to set up at least one Amnesia, because her Pokemon are going to be using powerful Psychic type moves. Increasing our special here means they're going to do less and less damage, gives us more chances to attack. But unless we get a critical, we probably would have taken out that Kadabra in one hit. This is what I mean about the Badge Boost glitch sometimes being detrimental to you. Mr. Mime will go down in 1. Venomoth probably will go down in 1 as well. Unless we get a critical. This is 90 base speed, we actually do get quite a lot of critical hits, so I shouldn't be too annoyed that that is the possibility that we have to contend with. But Poliwag still guts it out and beats Sabrina. We can move on to Giovanni and then move on to the Pokemon League, because I'm interested to see how we do against them. So Giovanni is the last gym leader, and it's going to be kind of a whitewash. Looking at the moveset, because there's not really too much to talk about with this fight, we set up with Amnesia and then we go from there really. And looking at the moveset, we actually don't have that many moves to work with, but with what moves we do have to work with, they are fantastic. Psychic, Surf, Ice Beam Blizzard, Takedown, Body Slam, well not Takedown, Double Edge is better. We actually do get a lot of good moves to use, and considering we've got such a shallow move pool, it's very surprising that we are doing as well as we are, because I'll tell you now that the end time to this is going to be pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I'm not going to spoil what it is right now, because I want you to watch to the end of the video, of course. But if you wanted to find out what the time is, just skip to the end. You've seen these battles loads and loads of times. I'm pretty sure you can see how it's going to go. But if you're really interested to know how to get past each trainer as a Poliwag, keep on watching, guys. So as Giovanni's been beaten, we have one more challenge for the Elite Four, and that is the Rival. And thankfully this time the Pidgeot doesn't have Sand Attack. This is the battle that it stops having Sand Attack, so we can start setting up Amnesia on the Pidgeot. Late game Pidgeot for the Rival is probably one of his worst Pokemon. His Executor is much better, and that's only got Hypnosis, Stomp and Barrage. And yeah, I'll probably get someone in the comments saying, oh no, Pidgeot's a lot better because it's got Sky Attack. It's kind of weak. In the late game, Pidgeot is kind of weak. Annoyingly, that Gyarados is still one of our biggest threats with Dragon Rage. I never thought this far into the run Dragon Rage would be such an annoying move, but here we are. Gyarados is still causing a problem. Once we've got our Amnesia set up though, we can still not only just Alakazam hangs on, that's annoying. Last up is Venusaur. Ice Beam should take it out in 1. And we have a first time victory. So we're level 51 ending this battle and moving into the Elite Four. Lorelei is an ice type trainer, well mostly water ice. This is going to be an interesting matchup because we don't really have anything that is a hard counter to any of our Pokemon. Psychic will be our main move, and the main thing we need to do is get our Amnesias up. It doesn't matter if we get hit by Growl because we're not using physical moves. As soon as we've got them Amnesias set up, Psychic should start tearing through a team. And we've got to make sure we've got enough PP on Psychic to make sure we actually take out each one of our Pokemon. So we've got down 2 of our Pokemon, we've lost 3 PP. Slowbro is the biggest problem, but Surf is strangely the best move to use against it. 2 Surfs will be more than enough to take it down, and then we're on to the Jinx. So I'm going to go for Surf again here because it's neutral damage. When we get the critical hit, of course we get the critical hit. And last up is Lapras, where we've got more than enough Psychics to take it down. We even get a special drop, but we get confused, which is not good. If they get a body slam crit, we would have lost. But we outspeed, we take her down with another psychic, and we move on to Bruno. And there's not much to talk about with Bruno, of course. We're a water Pokemon. We got psychic moves. This will be one of the easiest fights in the entire run for a Poliwag. We don't even need to take any damage really from that Onix. It's like it's not even there. And Poliwag is just absolutely swaggering its way through this game. We've had a first time victory against Lorelei. This is going to be a first time victory against Bruno. We are sailing. And who would have thought a little tadpole like Poliwag would be so dangerous. I don't know why I went slow there, but it's in the video now. Next up is Agatha. Now, Agatha was probably the one I was more worried about out of the first three. We do have Psychic as our main move for her team, but we need to at least get one or two Amnesias up. And if that Golbat had used Haze, we'd have been in really big trouble. One Amnesia should be more than enough to take him out, but I wanted to set up at least two and to make sure we can take out those Gengars. If we can take out the Gengars, we know the Horns will go down, but I don't know if we'll take out this level 60 Gengar. Arbok shouldn't go down without too much problem, but we do get a critical hit. Of course we get a critical hit. We're not even wanting them this run. And there we go. Just the Gengar left. We're one level below it, and it is a whitewash. We haven't lost any HP on that run. And we're through to Lance. Now Lance as well, his biggest problem is going to be this initial Gyarados, because we don't have a hard counter move for it. It's going to be Psychic that is going to be our main move. The rest of his Pokemon Ice Beam should take out quite comfortably. But the question is, do I set up on the Gyarados or do I set up on the Dragonair coming up? I get hit by a Hyper Beam and we get taken down straight away. So I probably should have went for a different move here. And you might see that I've equipped a Blizzard. We needed that extra firepower. I use it on the next turn and we get a Clutch Freeze, giving us complete free reign to set up our Amnesias without any worry in the world. We get a critical hit on the Psychic. Of course we get a critical hit. And then we can just sweep through his team with such ease. Once you get past that Gyarados, Lance is a breeze. You can calm down. You can just take your time. And even when the Dragonite comes out, it's hi Dragonite, bye bye Dragonite. And that was nice and calm. That just leaves the champion though. One more fight for this little tadpole before he becomes the champion. And I think we're going to do alright really. We're level 63 going into this fight. Blizzard is the best move to use against that Pidgeot. It's a one-hit KO with a critical hit. And we move up to level 64. Alakazam, probably going to be one of the more annoying ones. If it uses Reflect, not the worst thing. If it was Light Screen, that would have been worse. But we can set up all of our Amnesias. For some reason, it doesn't go for Psychic, even though we're only just a Water type. We can then take it out. Next up is the Rhydon. And a Surf's going to take it out. It is especially the weakest player on his team. Psychic will do big damage to the Gyarados. Hyper Beam hits. And we tank... No, we don't tank it. It's a bloody critical hit again. What is with these critical hits and trolling me today? That is... Yeah, that's very annoying. But we can go straight back into the fight. I think it is more than possible to do it at this level. I'm sure there are other YouTubers who've done it at a lower level. We can set up our Amnesias against the Alakazam again. Because he doesn't seem to use Psychic very much. He does use it here. But because of those special increases, it doesn't really do that much. Now, the reason why Hyper Beam one-shotted me in the last fight was because it critical hit. Critical hits ignore the badge boost glitch. If it hadn't have crit, probably would have easily tanked it. So we need to take down this Gyarados as soon as possible. Goes for Hyper Beam. Please no crit. Please no crit. We hang on with 2 HP. Oh my god. Poliwag, you absolute legend. Come on. We can do this. Arcanine goes down to a Surf. Venusaur is out. We're going for Blizzard. And we've done it. Poliwag has become the Pokemon League champion at level 65. Hanging on by the skin of its teeth with 4 HP. That was a good run. That was quick. That was fun. I like this Pokemon. But what time did we do this in? That is what I want to know now before we decide what Pokemon is going to be on next week's video. So let's see what we got as our time. So Poliwag, you're in the Hall of Fame. So level 65. At 3 hours 48 minutes, we beat the 4 hour mark with a Poliwag. That's a good first stage evolution Pokemon. The only other first stage evolution Pokemon that's done that has been Clefairy. So we have got a very good Pokemon to rank when the next ranking videos come out. And yeah, this is actually quite an enjoyable run. The water type Pokemon in Gen 1 really seem overpowered compared to any others really. Maybe aside from Psychic types. And we're starting to see a lot more water types come up on the wheel recently, so we're gonna have to rank these very meticulously. But that is the end of the video. Although we do have to choose next week's Pokemon. And I hope you'll agree with the choices when I make them. I really hope you do. I kind of... It depends on the day. Like, I like to choose one that is mostly like a hard run to do. Or I choose one where I just think it would be fun. Or I just want to get that Pokemon out of the way. It depends on the day and how I'm feeling that day. But let's have a first spin the wheel. First up is Jigglypuff. If it's anything like Clefairy, that could be a fun run, but its stats are very different. Diglett is very quick, but it's more like a glass cannon. And last up is Golem. I think we go with Jigglypuff. Yeah? Yeah, let's go with Jigglypuff. Okay, guys. Now this is really the end of the video. I've waffled on for way too long now. If you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe button, you legends. And I will see you next week for another video. Take care now.